I'm your host, Mona, and this is Introspection, the podcast. It is my belief that self-love is the key, and that we as a society have been conditioned. It's time we break free from these idealisms and we start living from our souls. The journey to self-love begins here. Introspection with Mona starts now. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about what this podcast is about, what my goals and aspirations are, and who I am as a person. Quite some time ago, I started on my own personal journey, discovering who I was, finding where I needed to be, where I fit in this world. And through this journey, it's been a road well traveled, I'll say, with plenty of bumps and dips, turns, a little bit of a roller coaster ride at times to get me to where I am today. I'm going to say to all of you, don't give up on your hopes, dreams, aspirations, wherever you feel you need to be. Trust it. Your gut knows you better than you know yourself. My journey actually started not in the best way that I had wanted it to start. Not any way that I dreamed of it starting, but I was working in the financial industry, going back to school to further my education, to, make more of myself, as that's what we're taught in society. I had an accident that stopped me dead in my tracks for 14 years, to the point where I wasn't able to wash my own hair, to bathe myself, to clean my home. It was a lot. A lot of my time was spent in bed. I was angry at the world, angry that this had happened to me, wanting to know why did this happen to me. I was on my way, or so I felt, on creating a better life for myself, based on what we were taught as a society. For some odd reason, I decided to delve into my spirituality. Someone told me that something was placed upon me. And at that point, I began to pray. Prayer has been my savior in some way, and it may not work for everybody, but that's where my journey began. I began praying for protection. I began praying for success in my own life, for finding my way. I began to also pray to have a child at that time, because I thought, again, that was something I needed to do, something I wanted, and something I didn't think that would require a whole ton of education or time in the sense of learning new things. So it was quite, undertaking at that point in time. Then I added meditation to that. And along my path, I wanted to know why certain things were happening and certain things were shifting and changing, and I wasn't sure what was going on. But I'm like, okay, I need to better understand this. So I ended up taking a few classes. I took yoga classes, meditation classes, Buddhist classes, to understand life better. And then I believed at that point, I felt that I was being led down the right path. One of the classes I took, the first thing the teacher said was, take a look around you. 80% of the people in here you won't see by the time you finished. And I kind of scratched my head and said, I don't think that's going to happen. But sure enough, it did. And it was in that class I was like, oh my goodness, there's so much information coming. So much things to ponder, so much thought to put in. I said, oh, I don't know if I'm capable of doing this. Do I drop out now? Because there's so much. I don't know if I quite understand this. And as I had mentioned, that was the meditation class. As I had mentioned before, I was also taking a Buddhist class. Well, didn't realize it, but certainly understand it now more than ever, that both those classes were overlapping whatever I was learning. And I was like, okay. A light bulb went off and I go, oh my God, I actually get this, so I don't need to drop out. Because what was happening was that overlapping was taking place between these two classes. What I was learning on my Monday night class was pretty much reiterated or explained again on my Wednesday night class. And that light bulb went off at that time and said, oh my God, if I'm understanding what's going on Monday night's class, then it's going to show up here on Wednesday night's class. Certainly did. Certainly paved the way for me to kind of go, I got this. I know where I'm going. And a class that was supposed to take 30 weeks took a year and a half. He said, oh yeah, this is going to be a 28 to 30 week class. You'll be done and out you go with the knowledge that you have. No, it didn't. It took a year to a year and a half. I believe it was a year and a half. And the amount of information that I had armed to walk into this world helped me discover my own path. The path that I'm walking right now is where I feel I need to be. I feel I have the knowledge and the power to change our world, to better our world, to bring back humanity, to cause us to think in a different direction. And to help educate and to help others live their path and their journey. This is truly what I am meant to do. And as I say those words, it resonates with every fiber of my being. I believe part of my journey is to help better our world, to change it, to free ourselves of what we've been conditioned, to really understand, to give us hope that there is more to the world than what we're seeing. And that we don't need to stick to societal standards. This is my hope. This is my dream. And this is my journey. And I believe by teaching each and every single one of you how to better love yourselves, how to start questioning things and not just rolling with the punches, and maybe even question me, question my thoughts, my perspectives, that it will lead you to where you need to be, all by simply listening, being open to different perspectives, seeing things differently, and always coming from a place of love. I invite you to join me each and every single week to change our world and to change the world that surrounds you. I believe my words are infectious. And I believe that when you take these words in and you start to follow just a tiny little bit, you're going to start to emulate the things that you've heard. I myself have had many people come back to me and say, you know, you live in my head. I always think, what would you say or what would you do? And I'm starting to think and feel that I'm speaking like you. That is no greater gift to me. No greater warmth in my heart. No greater joy in my body to know that I am impacting you to becoming the best you. So I hope, I pray, and I certainly have faith that I will help you along your way. Whether we meet in person or not, the words that I speak, the guests that are with me will inspire you to be the greatest you. Thank you guys for taking the time out to listen to me today. And maybe understanding what I'm here and what I'm trying to do. And I shouldn't say try because I don't like that word. What I'm going to do. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll see you next time on Introspection with Mona.